The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. The Coach's Show is brought to you by Bowen's Body Shop. From dings and dents to full body work, trust Jeff and Kyle Bowen to do the job right. They're located on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. I'm Danny Brewer. You know, this is one of those, really, really good moments for me because I'm getting to speak with Eagleville head basketball coach Davy McClaran, you know, an icon of the high school basketball world, especially in the Eagleville area. Coach McClaran, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. You know, before we get, really deep into this, I want to talk about a mutual friend of ours for a minute. We're going to give him a little airtime. Randy Toombs. You know, I saw Coach Toombs this week and saw him last week. I've seen him the last couple weeks. But, talk a little bit about Randy Toombs. And I know he thinks a lot of you, and you guys have a nice history together. So talk for just a minute about Randy Toombs.
Yeah, Coach Toombs, we go back a few years. He assisted me when I was at Forest High School, and then he took over the reins when I left and moved up into administration at that time. And Coach is just he's a great guy to be around because he's that old school coach. He's no nonsense. He tells it like it is. We don't have enough of those guys around anymore. Challenges the kids, respects hard work, and wants to be a winner at every phase. And he's I just appreciate the old school mentality that he brought when we worked together. And then I was fortunate he came to watch us the other night when we played Rockville, and of course, he's that old school coach. Afterwards, he gave me his 2 cents worth. He was like, "Congratulations, Butt," and I loved that part of it. So it was fun getting back in touch with him for that short moment, and good guy.
You're right, because that was one of the things we talked about, was because he had told me, man, I went and watched Eagleville play, and they're pretty good. And so let's talk about that. Rolls into the next thing I want to talk about, the Rockville game. So you played at Eagleville, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So when you played at Eagleville, was it still where those satellites of Murfreesboro had their own school? Because I know Eagleville did. Did Rockville have their own school, and did y'all play them when you were playing basketball?
They were a K-8 school when I was in school. So we played them in middle school, but that's as far as we played, and so some of their athletes went to Riverdale, and then we would get some every now and then. So there was a little bit of a rivalry there, but it just wasn't built on like you would get in a high school setting.
Yeah, because I know like years ago, years ago, they did have a school where it was the same as Eagleville, right? Where it was first through high school grades. Am I right about that?
Yes, sir. My father played against Rockville. My grandmother, who was actually a teacher, had taught at Rockville for a couple of years, but then came back to Eagleville because she was from there as well. So, yeah, there was a really good history, just being 10, 15 minutes down the road. It was just a big in-county rivalry.
Yeah, the Battle of Highway 99. So when we think about that, and this is what I'm trying to get at, is you've kind of rekindled that. And, of course, Rockville is a lot bigger school than Eagleville, but you guys went in there and took them down. And I talked to some other people besides Randy Toombs that went to the game and said it was a really exciting game, and you guys really looked good. Talk a little bit about the Rockville game, beating a bigger opponent like that, and the rivalry and all that stuff, and what that means for your program.
Well, for us, it's a win-win. We walk into that game, and we're going to get better just by playing a bigger opponent. And, if we don't win the ball game, we still gain something. But if we do win the ball game, then we've, in a lot of people's eyes, overcome something, overcome size, overcome athleticism, overcome numbers and whatnot. for them, it's more of a trap game. You know, they actually gain nothing by playing us in the mental side of the game. But this group that I have, we've got a lot of experience on the floor. We've logged a lot of experience over the last couple of years. So I have some juniors and seniors that have been in big ball games. I've taken them all over the state in the summer at camps. We didn't play any small schools all summer long, so they felt like they belonged on the floor. I thought they looked like they belonged on the floor, and this group I've got, they're just highly competitive. They work well as a unit. Last 6 games, we've been averaging somewhere around 25 assists a game. So they share the ball. We've got multiple guys that can score double digits, and we've got multiple guys that are willing to give up the good shot for the great shot. So going into that ball game, we knew that the athleticism was going to be challenging, but it wasn't something that stayed in the back of our mind. We just knew we were going to have to make it a 5-on-5 game, and we would be okay.
Coach, would you like to play other Rutherford County schools? I mean, or if there were like some kind of like Christmas tournament or something like that, would you welcome those opportunities? I don't know if those schools want to play you, but would you like to do that?
Well, I mean, I think this is a year that Eagleville can go out there and make a competitive, run at it. We're not that caliber where we're going to be at that level every year. You would like to think you could sustain that level of play, and you want to go out and play those teams when they gain something out of it as much as you do. In single A, there's peaks and valleys, so there's going to be a time where hopefully, I hope not, but we may not be able to compete at that level with those bigger schools. But I mean, these guys want to play everybody just for the competition, and they like to prove to everybody in the county that they belong in the talk of being one of the better teams in the county. So there's years when we would gladly welcome to play anybody, and there's years where people wouldn't want to play us because they probably wouldn't gain anything out of it.
Coach, when we talk about what you did this summer, obviously you've had a really, really good season to this point. You think that this is kind of a little bit of come to fruition as far as what you did during the summer, all the hard work, and now, I mean, you've got a pretty dadgum good record, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, I think we played every Williamson County team this summer. We went to out west and played at we played Whitehaven, who's in the top in 4A this summer at free camp. We played a lot of those West Tennessee teams, and then we went out to the BCAT and we played private, and we played Pope this year. We played BGA. We have really run the gauntlet in the summer. Of course, you don't get any trophies in the summer, so summer was great. We left feeling really good about ourselves. Then we get into the season, and we beefed up our schedule. I mean, we play, I think 4 4A schools and some private schools and 3A and 2A schools, and really beefed it up as much as we can. And we finished with an outstanding record, 22-2, and feeling good about ourselves. And now here we are at 0-0 again. And we feel pretty confident with this district because our district is uncharacteristically low this year. They're just not very good, and that's just single A. I mean, that's just the definition of peaks and valleys. But our region is extremely challenging with Santa Fe and Richland, who are both top 10 teams in the state, and then us. And one of those 3 top 10 teams in the state is going home in the region semis. And so we're back to 0-0. We're back to trying to figure out our game plan and trying not to be complacent with what we've done, but stay hungry and keep looking forward and keep working for our goal.
Where is district tournament going to be played at this year?
Yes, sir. It's going to be played at Huntland this year. We don't have the times yet. We know that the girls will be playing on Tuesday and Thursday, and the boys will be playing on Wednesday, Friday. So semis and championship we only have 4 teams in our district, so it's only 2 nights for the girls, 2 nights for the boys. We'll have the times when we meet Monday morning and get those brackets out. But the district is at Huntland, and then the region tournament this year will be at Moore County.
Okay. And then I guess because you only have a 4-team district, that means all 4 teams are going to the region no matter what, correct?
That is correct.
So when you think about what you've done, which has been fantastic in the regular season, do you think that you've got a group that understands that you just mentioned you're 0-0 now?
Yeah, I do. Last year we felt like we gave away an opportunity to make it to the state. We had a lead. We lost the lead, then lost in overtime, and the team that beat us, who we had a comfortable lead on, and, our inexperience just kind of showed last year, and we just didn't rise to the occasion. They went on and finished second in the state, and we felt like, that would have been us had we, just finished. And so, I think that is something that lingers in the back of their mind, that keeps them, hungry. We talk about, our motto right now is everything we want is on the other side of hard. So it's hard to get there. It's hard to win those games, and we've been handling hard pretty good all year. We've been playing most of the games to our potential, and, it's hard to play to our potential when we play teams that are not there. And, to stay focused and to keep our eyes on one game at a time and just being the best team on the floor that night. I'm proud of this group because they've matured in that moment.
Well, Coach, I think it's hard to win 20 more games than you lose, and it's hard to find a coach as good as you because I've heard and I know you're doing a fantastic job. We certainly appreciate your time this morning, and we wish you the best of luck moving forward.
We thank you so much at Eagleville for y'all covering us. Come out and hopefully cover us, and we'll show you some good basketball.
That sounds great. Coach Davy McClaran with Eagleville. We'll be back in a few moments with Siegel head basketball coach Matt Rigsby. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.
Franklin's Printworks has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer, everything from business cards, brochures, booklets to